Welcome back to Shubh the License Nerd, Day 5 of our Flexera One Masterclass. Today, we're tackling a topic that every CIO and IT finance leader cares about: enterprise groups and chargebacks. How do you make departments accountable for the software they use? Here's the problem I see in almost every organization. The IT department owns the software budget. They buy the licenses, manage the compliance, and absorb the cost. But who actually uses the software? Marketing installs Adobe Creative Cloud. Finance uses SAP. Engineering runs specialized CAD tools. Yet IT gets blamed when the budget overruns. This creates zero accountability. Departments have no incentive to reduce their software consumption because they're not paying for it. Enterprise groups in Flexera One solve this by creating a hierarchical structure that maps your organization. You define groups based on business units, departments, cost centers, locations, or any combination. Then you link users and devices to these groups using Active Directory, HR system feeds, or manual assignment. Once this mapping is in place, every software installation, every license consumption, and every compliance gap can be attributed to a specific group. There are three main chargeback methods you can implement with enterprise groups. Method 1 is direct allocation. If a user in the marketing department has Adobe Photoshop installed, that license cost goes directly to marketing's budget. Simple, transparent, and easy to understand. Method 2 is proportional allocation. For shared infrastructure software like Windows Server or SQL Server, you divide the cost proportionally based on usage. If engineering uses 60% of the SQL Server capacity and finance uses 40%, the license cost splits accordingly. Method 3 is tiered pricing. You set a base allocation for each department and charge a premium for usage above the baseline. This incentivizes departments to optimize their consumption. Let me show you the real impact. I worked with an organization that implemented chargebacks using Flexera One enterprise groups. Within 6 months, departments voluntarily reduced their software requests by 15 to 20%. Why? Because when the marketing VP saw that her team was consuming $2 million in software licenses, she immediately asked which ones weren't being used. The answer was about 30%. That's $600,000 in savings from a single department just by creating visibility. Here's how to set this up in Flexera One. Step 1, define your enterprise group hierarchy. Typically, this mirrors your organizational chart. Company at the top, then business units, then departments, then teams. Step 2, create the data feed. Connect Active Directory or your HR system to automatically assign users to groups. Step 3, configure the allocation rules. Decide which chargeback method applies to each software category. Step 4, generate the chargeback reports. Flexera One produces detailed reports showing cost per department, cost per user, and cost trends over time. My expert tip for today: start with your top 10 most expensive software publishers. Don't try to charge back everything at once. Focus on Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, Adobe, and your other high-spend vendors first. Once departments see the numbers and start optimizing, expand the program to cover more publishers. The key is making the data visible and the costs tangible. That's it for today's deep dive on enterprise groups and chargebacks. Tomorrow, we cover the SAM Operations Hub, your command center for ITAM health. Subscribe to Shubh the License Nerd, and I'll see you tomorrow.